All right, who is ready for some fishing today? What's going on, everybody? Brady here, and we are in the Yukon Territory today. I'm actually on live time right now, so it's pretty cool that the sun is coming up. However, I will say, because it is winter time there, I am going to be doing some customizations to the weather because we would not be doing a fishing charter in the Beaver with a float plane in the current state of the weather in the Yukon right now. It is very cold, very icy and snowy, so we're going to be simulating a July fishing charter, and we can still stick to, well, if I click real time, it's going to take us back to December. So we'll just put it at 9:11 a.m., which is what it is there. But we are going to be, or we'll just say sunrise, because that's when sunrise is about like when we would be getting ready to depart. And gosh, I think they have some pretty long sunrises there, which is pretty cool. It looks like the light starts to appear around 3:30 in the morning, if not before. But yeah, we'll just do like July 14th, whatever, something random in July for this expedition. This is going to be really, really cool. We're going to be flying up the Yukon River from this lake. And right now, the plane is right at the end of this dock. For our weather conditions, we'll just do a few clouds. We're going to have a nice summer day here for this charter and go find some rivers to land on and some good fishing spots. So I'm really excited to be flying the Beaver again. You voted, and here I am. Got some kombucha, got some coffee. I am ready to fly. And also wanted to mention the vote for next week is not going to happen, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top 3 votes from the last vote, and I'm going to do all 3 of them, just because I want everyone to be happy and win one of their votes. So I'm just going to do the top 3, and that way there won't be another vote until another 2 streams from now or so. So what we're going to be looking at for the future streams after this one is going to be, let's see, there's a Yukon fishing one today. Transporting some fishermen, and the DHC-2 Beaver won today in the Yukon Territory. Runner-up was bush flying Idaho and a carbon cub plus some dangerous grass strips. Pretty excited about that one. So we're going to also do that one. And we're also going to do the Charlotte Douglas to New York LaGuardia in the Airbus A320. Those will be the next 2 streams after this one. Once those are done, I will open up the vote again. But it just makes sense to me to... we had 40 people vote, and I want to do those top 3, and then we'll move on to and clear the board and do some new votes. So here we go. Let's get started. Let's walk to our airplane. I'm walking to the airplane right now. As you can see, sun is coming up over here, and I'll show you where we're at on this lake. If I pull up the map, you can see where we're at on the lake. Let's see here. I'm going to go to the VFRMap. And let me just adjust this real quick. Love this tool. It's free. It's just an awesome map because the in-game GPS just really does not have much information. So here's where we are. Let me zoom out. Start with the whole world, right? We got Canada. It's like absolutely massive. Canada has so much land, and we're up here in the Yukon. You can see we're almost as far north as Anchorage, but much further north than Juneau. And we're in this place called Whitehorse. Now they actually do run fishing charters out of here with float planes, and they depart from Schwatka Lake. So if you look, I'm parked right by the seaplane base. That is where we are, and we're going to be flying north past Whitehorse, up the Yukon River. And if you see this, the Yukon River comes out into this lake, into Lake Laberge. I don't know if that's how you say it, but goes into this big lake, and then we're gonna keep going up this lake into the Yukon River and keep following the Yukon River, finding some fishing spots along the way. So I am excited. Let's get to the airplane and get rolling. That is an overview of our map, just to give you an idea of where we're at in the world. And now I am walking on the dock. As you can see, we have some boats here. I think in reality these would all be seaplanes. There might be a boat here, but here's our seaplane at the very end. I don't think I can use the flashlight in drone mode, but I'll use it once I'm in the cockpit. So, sun is coming up. We are with the passengers, the fishermen now, and we're going to be getting onto the plane. This is about as close as I can get it to the dock. Would have liked to have gotten it a little bit closer, but that's okay. And we're going to be getting in the airplane now. So, here we go. Pretty cool. This is my first ever, I think, seaplane live stream, at least in recent times. So let's hop into the cockpit here. We'll leave the door open for a minute, and as you can see, it is dark. So got a couple passengers on board. I did the weight and balance for it, and we are fueled up. Could add a little more fuel. And then I've accounted for a few passengers. We're going to be taking fishing as well as some cargo. Of course, on board we're going to have our first aid, we're going to have our survival kit, and we're going to have all of our fishing gear that we need. I'm going to be briefing the passengers on emergency situation. So I would just brief them on what to do if we had an emergency landing, things like that. And then we can just go ahead and get started up here. I don't know that it's really like bright enough to take off yet. Might want to just add a little bit more of a sunrise here. There we go, just to make it a little more realistic as far as being able to go do this flight, because we are going to be VFR today. All right, and we're going to be following rivers, so I guess in some cases it's IFR, or I follow rivers. Okay, now going to the checklist. We're going to get this airplane started up and let's go on an adventure. Hope you guys are all doing well. I see there's not many people here. I don't know, maybe that's because I don't usually stream on Fridays. That's kind of a new thing. I'm trying to do 2 a week, and most people probably think that I just stream on Tuesdays. So I'll keep trying to do 2 a week. Or Mondays, I'm sorry. I haven't figured out if I'm gonna do like every Monday, Tuesday. My work schedule changes a lot, so that makes it difficult at the moment. Battery on. Fuel selectors on the rear tank, which it is. Magnetos to both. Perfect. Now we're gonna go full mixture. And we're gonna crack the throttle to about 1/4 of an inch or so. Primer is down here. We're gonna do that 4 times. Let's slide over so we can see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the wobble pump we only need to do once because that will take it to 5 psi. Perfect. 1 time makes it exactly 5 psi, and then we are going to be ready to start up here. So here we go. As we're starting up, I'm going to advance the RPM lever fully forward, and throttle RPMs should be like around 700 or maybe 1,000. All right, here we go. Once we're started up, then we'll turn on the radios. Oh, and just to double check our fuel. I don't know if this changes until the airplane has started up. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're going to start with the rear. Okay. Get rid of that rear tank first, most likely, or most of it. might have to do fuel boost. Since we've started up here and we don't actually have an anchor simulated to the dock, it's unfortunate, but the airplane's just going to start moving, so just going to start moving to the right here just to get us out into the water away from land. Turn this off. And let's get our beacon on, cabin light on, get the map light on, pitot heat. We can leave that off for now. Let's go navs and landing light, strobe light, instrument lights. You turn off the map light and just have the instrument lights. Love that everything is shaking down here. So much more realistic. Very cool. Okay, game volume's a little loud. Sorry about that. Trying to work on my audio levels. There we go. Okay. Now, what else do we want? We want to do flaps to 1 notch. And we're going to make sure that we have our water rudder down, which we do right now. Good. Keep turning to the right here. Perfect. We'll do a wind check as well. And set our altimeter, which we can use the METAR from the nearby airport, because there's an airport like less than a mile north of this lake. So that's what we will use for our METAR information. Okay, now we can also turn on our radios. You can hear those cycling up. On the side we have a canoe, which is also a really nice touch that they added. Love that they put that on there. Not on this side, but on the other one. Right here. Very appropriate for this fishing adventure, although I don't know that we'll be really using a canoe. It's really neat to have that on board. Beautiful. Look at this scene. What a scene. I almost feel like I'm getting pushed by a current. The airplane's wanting to kind of drift to the right. That's interesting. I wonder if they have something like that modeled. Okay. Now we're going to, like I said, check out the METAR from this airport up here. You could literally see the runway right there for this airport. If you look on the map, you'll see that is this airport right here. Whitehorse International. Okay, so let's get the METAR for Whitehorse International. Whitehorse International METAR. Oh, we don't have live weather right now, so never mind. I'm just so used to doing that by habit. Okay. And again, for those just joining, I'm not on live weather because it's winter time in Canada right now, and the Yukon is very cold, very frigid. This is what won the vote, and you know, I put that out there as we could do a Yukon river fishing adventure, and but I knew that if this one won, we would be simulating it in summertime, so we're pretending like it's summertime weather now in the Yukon. So we're actually going to be getting our wind from here. I'm going to have a northwest wind coming from the northwest. Just because that's just what I'm picking. We'll do a speed of, oh, it's morning time, so probably not very much right now. Maybe we can increase that later. Right now it'll just be 4 knots. Okay, so we're gonna taxi down to the other end, turn around, and take off. Pretty sweet. Hoping that the gear's not down. I'm not sure. Okay, we could probably turn this flashlight off now. Nice. Also wanted to check the elevation for Whitehorse. I'm curious just for our mixture. Whitehorse Airport elevation. I think we're at an elevation of 2,000 feet, 2,300 feet or so. So yeah, we might be wanting to bring lean the mixture, but we won't do that until after takeoff. Alright, so we're just going to continue our taxi down. We're going to turn around and take off so that we have the wind in our favor. We've got a northwest wind. We're heading to the southeast right now. We can even see the lake on our GPS. For the altimeter, I don't really know what to do for the altimeter. I guess I'd have to go to the ATC, and we could do it right here and go to the ATIS and just see what that says. Let's do that. Wind 292 at 8, visibility 9, sky conditions few clouds. Got some gingerade kombucha. Few clouds at 4,100, ceiling 11,500 feet broken, temperature 15, dew point 13, altimeter 29902. Okay, we're going to set that to 29902. Which it already is. Interesting. Surprised that it's not showing 0. Seems way off, but we'll leave it at what it's supposed to be. Alright, and continue our taxi down here. What else we got? How's everything looking here? Cylinder temperature looking pretty good right now. We will also be doing a run up and check the mags. Got all of our lights on. Everything's looking good. Pretty straightforward. Emergency cutoff was in the wrong place when I started up again. So apparently, by default, that might be up when you start up. So if your airplane doesn't start, you need to push that back down so that the emergency cutoff is not engaged. Oh, these seatbelts, it's pretty cool. Look at the detail in the seats as well. Very realistic. So cool to be on the water right now. Wow, in the Yukon. Let's just sit back and enjoy this taxi and some of the scenery here. You know, when I first started the flight simulator, they didn't even have like a wake from the airplane modeled. Now we actually have a wake there in the water. So I wasn't really in a hurry to do any float plane flying originally because they didn't really have good water effects. So now we're starting to get some of that, which is pretty cool. If you guys have any questions, let me know. There's no dumb questions here. Hope everybody is well. Would love to hear from you in the chat. All right. Get the lay of the land here. The drone. I do have the Canada World Update installed. That is cool. So gorgeous. Can you imagine? Like I said, they actually do float plane fishing charters out of this lake in real life in the Yukon. I believe they're using like a twin otter and a caravan on floats. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's definitely some beavers there as well. Just a $300,000 to $400,000 airplane, nothing crazy. I don't know why my stream is so laggy. It says it's in excellent condition, but it still seems like a little choppy to me. I don't know what the deal with that is. Some of it might just be a hardware thing. Like I said before, I'm working on getting a new computer. Alright, and we are naturally turning to the left right now. We're going to be taking off, like I said, this way into the wind. We'll begin our adventure up the Yukon River. Probably will be streaming for the next hour and a half to 2.5 hours. Thank you guys for joining. You know what would be really cool too is being able to land at a river and then maybe switch over to like another game, like a fishing simulator, and actually fish in the Yukon. And then switch back to Microsoft Flight Simulator when you want to fly back. So that could be interesting. That's something that I've had on my mind that I might try to do, but I didn't find any Yukon like fishing games. Found a hunting one. Alright, here we go. Without further ado, we're going to go full power here and take off. Water runner's gonna go up. Flaps to 1 notch. It might have been 2 actually, but that's fine. Oh, and you know what? I like to watch the replay of the takeoffs and landings. So in order to do that, you could go to experimental, go to replay tool on, apply. Now you have that here. Then you can start recording. You will be able to record your takeoffs and landings and replay them. Alrighty, and rotate. I'm going to try to get off the ground here, gain a little more speed, and then we can pull up. Perfect. We of course would also want everyone at this airport to know our intentions, because it is right by the seaplane base. And we have liftoff, my friends. So let's see, I'll show you. If you turn left here a little bit, you'll see the runway for the other airport. I don't know if that airport has a tower or not. I didn't look. But if it does have a tower, you'd have to let the tower know what your intentions are. If it does not have a tower, you are just going to be on common traffic. I don't see a tower right now. I have to look that up on the aeronautical chart. So now that we have takeoff, we've got a positive rate of climb. We can actually turn off our landing light now. We're gonna squawk 1200 as well. I forgot to type that in. Because we are VFR. Last time I flew, I had some major problems with the autopilot. Didn't get to use it at all for the recent stream in Alaska. So we'll try the autopilot again today. See how it goes. Might switch over to my other microphone that I used to use for live streaming. I mean, this is supposed to be a better mic, but I don't know how I feel about it for this. Okay, Rithik, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you, man. Thanks for flying along today. And we're gonna level out here. We're not gonna be climbing too high, so as we level out, I'm gonna bring the throttle down and the RPMs down to about 2,000 or so. We're gonna keep this at about 2950, somewhere around there. Like the sound of that. Let's check out the mixture. If we lean it out a little bit, see what happens. I'll lean it a little bit. I'm not seeing much of a difference or hearing much of a difference at this altitude. I don't really think that's something we need to worry about till above 3,500 or so. And basically, we're going to be following this river, like I said, up to first the lake, this big lake, and then we're going to be getting away from civilization and be off the grid. Let me check my VFRMap here. Perfect. Just following the Yukon River. We're going to go out of Whitehorse, out of Porter Creek. There's another airport here. And then eventually we'll get to this big, big lake. And after that, we're going to be on our own, pretty off the grid. Okay, let's check out our temps. We're already burning some fuel. Wow. Must be a smaller tank. Temps are looking good. Got a nice cruise going at 3,500 or so. And I'm going to test out the autopilot now. Let's bring up our flaps too, since we're not climbing anymore. This plane is a little different than others. It kind of throws me off sometimes because it does have a climb setting for the flaps. So you actually do use flaps for climbing, and then cruising is when you're going to raise them up completely. Alright, autopilot's going on. Let's see what happens with that. We're going to have it hold altitude and see if it will follow our heading bug. Oh, it might actually be working now. That would be great if it did. It's the last stream it did not. Okay, and now that we've got all that figured out, we can watch our replay real quick from taking off. So all I have to do is, I'm actually going to pause this. And then we're going to hit stop, and then hit play. Change the camera angle to whatever I want. Now we're watching a replay of our takeoff. So pretty cool. From a different angle. What you really want to do is try to get the airplane into the air as soon as possible so you don't have any friction from the water. Then you're going to build up a little more speed and then you can climb out. There you have it. Pretty fun to watch. And if you want to watch it again, you can just hit stop on the camera track and hit play again. And you can watch it again from a different view. That is pretty neat. Very glad that they've added that feature now. We are back in the airplane now. Let's see if we can get this autopilot to cooperate. Appears to be working, so that's exciting. I think I need to give some performance to Streamlabs and less to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Let's see if that helps with the choppiness. I will have to research that. I'm not really finding how to do it on Windows. I don't know if anyone's upgraded to Windows 11, but I'm scared. Anytime something's new like that, I don't know. I'm just very hesitant to upgrade right now. I don't know. What do you guys think? All right, and we are off on this fishing adventure. I'm gonna turn a little bit more to the left. You can see big lake ahead. So we are on track. This is a little high. We want to be at like 28.5 or so. And let's bring this down to about 1950. There we go. I don't know how those got messed up. Maybe they changed when I did the replay. I don't know. That shouldn't happen though. Alright, now we're more at like a cruising situation here. Yeah, something might have happened because the flaps also went down. I was like, something's wrong here. Alright, now we're in the cruising profile. So I like to be around 28.5 in this airplane for the throttle, and then I'm going to have the propeller at about 1950 or so. That sounds nice with the engine there. Beautiful sounding radial engine. So I do wonder if that airport is a Class D. I'm gonna look that up real quick. For White Horse International. It's gotta be. It's gotta have a tower. Let's see, White Horse International. Open to the public. Yeah, it has a tower, so it's got to be a Class D. Cool. So we would need to tell them when we were taking off because that lake is actually in their airspace. Good to know. Alright guys, we're gonna have a great day of fishing. Hopefully we'll have some luck. But a bad day of fishing is better than a good day at work, right? Unless your job is to fly a fishing charter. That's a pretty good day at work. Rithik says, how's the work on the new plane you're making? Not good. It's not good. Just have not had time, man. Can't get away from my full-time job. And it's like I either YouTube or, you know, I abandon my YouTube channel and work on the plane, and the hangar rent has gone up monthly. It's going up like every month. So nothing's happening with it right now. I'm not sure what's going to happen with it. We're in the process of figuring that out. Alrighty, so let me make sure, just double check on things here real quick, and then I'm just gonna let you guys enjoy the view for a second. Yeah, everything is looking really good. Just doing a scan. We're gonna keep an eye on that fuel tank. Perfect. So what I'm gonna do is look up sort of I want to find the checklist for this airplane and just see what it says for an emergency situation. That could be a good thing to check out real quick, since we don't have a lot of people here and got some time to kill, and you guys can just enjoy the scenery. So I'm gonna do a little research, pull up the checklist and see what it says, because nothing in here is for emergency. Oh wow, it's actually checking the things off that I've been doing. Interesting. But yeah, everything is good, so just enjoy the view for a minute, and I'm gonna go off camera and just look at pull up the checklist for this airplane so we can get a better idea of what to do in an emergency situation, especially in a place like this. Alright guys, and I am back. It's not like I was AFK, so I'm still here no matter what, but Tebby, what's going on? I subbed after watching the video of you in Alaska camping with a beaver. Awesome, man. Welcome aboard. Thanks for being here. We could do some more camping today if you want. We could still set up camp. But yeah, this is very similar. We're gonna be, we're on a fishing charter right now, headed up this lake. Could show you where we're at, and then we're gonna be pretty off the grid in the down the Yukon River, looking for some good places to fish. With this sunrise, cannot beat this experience right now. Pretty incredible. So here's where we're at, just for those of you who are just joining. Took off from this lake, Schwatka Lake, headed up the Yukon. Now we're on this big lake, nice and long lake, and then we're going to continue up the Yukon River right here. That is the Yukon River. Keeps going up this way, and then to stay on the Yukon, like it splits here, we're going to stay on the Yukon and head west with it a little ways. Continue up this way. There's some really good fishing spots up here. All right, and as the sun is coming up, I could probably lose these lights. Perfect. Let's change our autopilot. Let's go a little more this way. With our heading bug. Beautiful, and let's check our fuel. Always scanning everything, make sure temperatures are good, fuel's good. We're getting pretty low on our rear tank, so we'll switch that over pretty soon. Go to the middle. Epic views. The Yukon remote territory. Got lots of beverages on board today. Got kombucha, coffee. And water. It's like brunch. Sunday brunch in the Beaver. Okay. We are just coming up toward the end of this lake. It's crazy how much ground you can cover in this thing. It's so awesome. It's really got a nice cruise. We probably could cruise a little faster if we wanted to. Now we're going to be cruising along the Yukon, so I'm going to drop down a little bit with altitude. Matt, what's going on, man? Welcome aboard. Thanks for dropping by, man. All right, here we go. Just gonna disengage autopilot. And I have controls now. Start a nice descent down to the Yukon River. We can just follow that up a little ways, and then we're gonna find a good spot to land to do some fishing. Probably want to land into the wind, so we're gonna want to land facing northwest as much as possible. There's really not much wind right now as the sun is coming up. We'll be adding in some wind later just to make, you know, just for realism. Let's check our fuel. Still have like 6 or 7 gallons in that tank left. I'm just playing around with the trim right now, which is up here, but I have it mapped to the joystick. Some of you may already know that who've been watching my streams. I like to have the trim mapped to my stick so that I have buttons on here. It makes it easier versus reaching up here. And in real life, it's great to reach up here, but with the mouse, not so much. So just kind of playing around with the trim right now, finding a nice trim that I like. Does the airplane pass safety check before flight? Yes, of course. Epic Concord fan, boy, do I have a story for you. Does the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 run on the Xbox Series S without Game Pass? I have no idea. I have not tried it on the Xbox. I am solely focused on the PC version, so I apologize. I can't answer that. I am working on getting a new PC right now so that everything will run smoother for live streaming. Samuel, how's it going? Good day to you. Welcome to the Yukon Territory. Flying up the Yukon River right now. Do some fishing. Yeah, we're about to switch tanks here in a second, Matt. If you give me a couple minutes here, we've got just like 4 gallons left on this tank, so I'm going to be switching it pretty soon. Tev, thank you for chiming in on that. Get a better view. Beautiful. What a beautiful river. I'm going to check where we're at on the GPS. So we've got a pretty good spot up here. We could potentially land. Let's see. Try this first fishing spot in the Teslin River. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Alright, so I'm going to be switching tanks right now. That is right here. We're going to go to the center tank. And there you have it. It's that simple. It's this lever right here. Fuel selector. Rear tank was getting pretty low. Again, for those just joining, I do a vote every week on what I'm going to be streaming next. It's on my YouTube community page. However, here, I'll put the command to it. Whoa, look at that sun just peeking in. We officially have the sun breaching the horizon and now hitting in the inside of the airplane. So amazing. But yeah, if you go to this link, that's where the vote takes place. However, I'm not going to have a vote for the next 2 streams because what I'm doing is I'm going to stream the runner-up of the last vote and 3rd place, maybe even 4th, just so that everybody's happy, everyone gets their vote right now. So that's what's happening. After that, then we'll go back to the voting. So it looks like, obviously today won with the Yukon. Next one we're going to be doing is the Idaho bush strips in the backcountry of Idaho. And then we're going to be doing the Airbus 320 flight. From, where was that? I don't even remember where it was. Oh yeah, Charlotte into LaGuardia. So anyway, that's that. So you guys can see where we're at now on the map. Here we are. Now this area right over here is where I'm going to be attempting to land if we have enough room so we can do some fishing here. We're coming up on it. Right now we are just completely IFR, I follow rivers. We can kind of, you know, to save time to get to some fishing, we can do a little shortcut here. we're just past 3,000 feet, so pretty soon we're going to be wanting to lean the mixture more. Matt says I'd like to donate a jar of cornfish bait. That'd be awesome, man. Hey, we got plenty of room on board. We only have 2 passengers today, 3 passengers, so we got plenty of room for gear and some extra bait. It'd be great to try that out. Epic Concorde fan, just so you know, I was on the taxiway in Paris when the Concorde crashed. So that's not really something that you forget. Alright, here we go. We are going to be checking this area out for a landing to just kind of scout it out for a minute. This could be a good fishing spot. Where the Teslin River meets the Yukon, and it should have a bigger opening here in order to land. Yeah, we're gonna try this out, see how this goes. I'm gonna run a pattern. I'm gonna actually circle back around to the right, and we're gonna land this way into the wind. Put our landing light on. Was that already on? That should have been off. Oh well. And we're gonna do 1 notch of flaps once we get turned around. Getting a little bumpy here. Something's rattling around. I'm wondering what that sound is. It's pretty realistic though. We are on live time, just so you know. We're on real... Well, we're on real time, but the reason we're not on real time is because of the month of December. The light is totally different in December, but it is 5:20 a.m. or so there right now. It's just we're simulating in July, guys, because it's a fishing trip, so I couldn't do a fishing trip with floats in wintertime. So I had to make it like a summertime experience. You know what I mean? Alright, we're going to come down on 1 notch of flaps. Gotta bleed off some speed. Make sure our water handle rudder is up. Gear is up. Just confirm. Yep, gears up. Good stuff. We're gonna go to second notch of flaps. And this looks like a good landing here, fellas. Let's go into replay mode and record it so we can watch it. Don't want to land without any speed or any power. I want to make sure we have a little bit of power on landing. Okay, that's a bumpy river. Don't know how good we're at, like, for simulating this. Now, in reality, this could be like a pretty rough spot to land. We might never land here, but I don't know exactly where they land these planes in the Yukon for fishing. I mean, obviously a lake, but I know that they have river access. Maybe a lot of them are river mouths. I just wanted to get a landing in because we're an hour and 11 minutes into the stream and I hadn't landed yet. So here we go. We're in the river. We're going to put the water rudder handle down so we can get some control here. Let's go back to this bank. Back this way. Put our flaps up for now. Oh, do we have someone flying along with us? I didn't even know. Oh, Samuel's here. Cool. Oh, he's in the Goose. Did mention that. Yeah, this is kind of a bad place to land. I don't know. Like again, I don't know how well they're simulating the rivers. I feel like water is what needs the most work in these things. Is how they're simulating water. Obviously, they don't even have waterfalls yet. So I do look forward to that getting better. Alright, we're gonna come right over here. It's a good spot to park. Do a little bit of fishing. Don't you guys agree that it'd be cool to switch over to a fishing simulator though? And like catch a fish and then switch back to Microsoft Flight Simulator? I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Should run into land right about here, hopefully. And we're gonna power off. Oops. Come on. Beautiful. Now we are sitting ducks. That said, let's pause it, and I don't really, you know what? I'm not really gonna check out the replay of that landing. It's not really, wasn't even like flat here in the river, so let's just ignore that for now. Alright, now we're docked here on the Yukon River. Pretty sweet. And we can get out some... Here, let's open the door. We can even do a camp out. If we want. Got our cooler for a bait. What else we got? Got our dry sack. And we're gonna go with this flask. That could be in here, that's fine. Could do a jerry can. Might add some fuel. I don't know. I think we should be good on fuel though. And we've got the folding table. Perfect. We're ready to do some fishing for a bit. Oh, let me turn this. This is drifting. There we go. So we'll see if the guys have any luck here at this first spot and take a look at the map of where we're going to go hit up next. Okay. So just enjoy the sound of the river and the birds and some fishing for a minute. Matt's already got a big fish. Yeah, someone's got to help Matt with the net. Oh, and Matt's pulling in a king salmon. What's going on with that? Right off the bat. Nice, man. Oh, sorry, my mic was off. Did want to pull up this checklist for you guys to take a look at the engine failure during flight checklist, because at some point, you never know, we might have an engine failure while streaming. We could start simulating some of those things. And this is the procedure for the Beaver if you have an engine failure. So what you do is you're going to go to airspeed immediately. Well, if you have enough altitude, you're going to attempt to restart the engine. So first you're going to go airspeed 95 miles per hour, fuel selector to the fullest tank, fuel pressure to normal, range, oil pressure available, make sure you have that available, and do not attempt to restart the engine if no oil pressure is available. So throttle's going to go to a third cracked, ignition switches to both. And if no fuel pressure is indicated, booster pump on or wobble pump prime max of 4. So either the booster pump or the wobble pump prime at 4 times max. And then if the restart fails, you can do ignition switch off, propeller lever to full decrease RPM, fuel selector off. Airspeed 95, whatever best glide is in this airplane, could be 95, maybe that's why it says that. Throttle lever is going to be closed, dead engine landing, perform dead engine landing. That is about it. Now, in a low altitude emergency situation, if you don't have much time to be thinking or reacting, just go ABC. Always remember ABC for emergency situations. A being airspeed. What's your best glide airspeed for that airplane? You're going to want to immediately go to best glide. That's going to give you the most distance most bang for your buck and time to land is the airplane's best glide. Then you're going to go to B, which is best place to land. So B, where is the best place for you to land and survive the landing around you? And then C is going to be communication, and that's going to be just declaring the emergency. So ABC is the very simple engine failure during flight for general aviation. That's at least like what I like to go by. And then if you have time, try a restart. Make sure you look at your checklist, open the doors, tighten the seatbelts, all that good stuff. All right. So this has been a good fishing spot. Let's take a look at the map and see where we're going to head next. I love that we have a couple others here on this river. This really wonky river that's got like elevation to it. Again, I'm pretty excited for them to be able to model this better in the future. It's going to be absolutely amazing when we get some better water graphics. Not that they're terrible, but you know what I mean. Like, rivers are not easy to model for the entire world. Nothing is. And of course, water is going to like take a back seat because it's the most complicated for programming. Okay. Can get rid of this. And let's bring out our map. Cool. So here's where we are. We're right at the mouth of where the Teslin meets the Yukon. Then it continues. Yukon continues up this way. Our next spot's going to be Little Salmon Lake. Okay, so we're gonna check out Little Salmon Lake up here. See if we can find, well, let's go to Frenchman. Frenchman's a little more exotic, a little more remote, it seems. Yeah, we'll follow the river up to Frenchman. That'll be our second spot. From there, not sure where we'll go from there. I mean, at this point, maybe we hit it big. Maybe we already have all the fish we need. And the rest is just for fun. Maybe we already have all the keepers. But yeah, let's head up to the next spot. So I'm going to get back on the airplane. Whoa, look at this glitch. Unless you're in slew mode. I don't know what's going on there. Again, that's the river modeling that needs serious work. Alright, let's go to camp out. That's hilarious. And clean this up. We're gonna get our cooler back in the plane. Get our flask back in the plane. Jerry can, dry bag, and folding table and all of our fishing gear back in the plane, and we are ready to go. Let's start back up. Batteries on. Okay, fuel selector, we're going to keep that on center tank, mags to both. Mixture full. We're going to crack the throttle to about 1/3. Prime, I don't think we need to prime because we should be good because we've already been running it. We're going to do 1 on the wobble pump and click the starter and advance the RPM lever. Actually, think it should be on like decrease for starting up. There we go. Door is shut. I'm going to start turning. Hopefully it lets me. If we hit land, I'll just do the pushback. See if we can rotate around here. I'm gonna hop into slew mode if I need to, just to get away from shore. That's fine. Did it cut off the engine? Oh well. I believe the mixture should be lower when we're idling. I don't know. not an expert on the Beaver, but at least for a lot of general aviation airplanes, generally could help the engine. Okay. Let's also get our radios on. Perfect. Make sure that we're squawk 1200. We've got a nice wonky bumpy river here. Flaps down to takeoff. It's going to be the second notch. Coming down here to turn around because we need as much room as we can get. This is going to be an interesting takeoff with all these water bumps. So we'll record the replay for that and see what happens. So I don't know what's going to happen because it's not flat here at all. That's why I'm thinking might just go land in a lake next. So we can have a more realistic landing. Yeah, let's go to this lake past Little Salmon Lake. What is that body of water? There's some really remote spots a little further north that you just cannot get to other than seaplanes. So let's go to one of those. This will be interesting. Here we go, my friends. We're gonna turn off raise up the rudder lock here. And here we go. That works. I just tried to get in the air as fast as possible to get away from that water. So we're looking good now. I'm actually gonna raise up one of the flaps. Beautiful. And before we go any further, let's check out that replay. From a different view. You can see I just tried to get the airplane in the air as quickly as possible to get away from the water. So anyway, nothing crazy. It's just, again, the sooner you can get away from the water, the better. And now we're in a climb with our flap setting. We're gonna come back on the throttle and RPMs. Let's go to about here for now. Actually, we can come back to, yeah, 2950 or so. 1950 on the propeller. And about 1950, or I'm sorry, 28.5 inches on our throttle. Perfect. We still have a beautiful sunrise right now, and let's go find another spot to fish. Check our fuel tank as well. Got plenty of fuel in the middle. Once that middle gets down to like 12, I'm gonna start burning the front. And let's engage our autopilot. I'm gonna go to cruise for the flaps. Just keep turning our heading bug more to the west. Actually, I'm gonna go to Mandana Lake. That's a cool spot. Let's do that. I'll show you guys where that's at on the map. We're gonna go to Mandana Lake. So we are here. This is where we landed. We're now here, headed up the Yukon. Now I'm gonna come over this way. Do you see this area right here? This is Mandana Lake. And we're gonna land in here. This looks like some really good fishing to me. We've also got the chain lakes here, and we might be crossing over some mountains unless we go around. We can try a mountain pass though, might as well. I'm gonna turn the pitot heat on. Let's turn more west and start a climb. Hey, Pratik. Not sure how to pronounce it. How's it going? Hope you're having a good day. All right, we are now headed more to, yeah, towards these lakes now. So I'm gonna put this marker where we're going so you guys can see. We're gonna try to get over to this, the Chain Lakes area here. Looks like we're not going to be passing over anything too crazy. Just got to keep an eye on the weather. Still pretty good weather conditions here. We could say the wind has maybe picked up a little bit. Be about 6 knots now. Out of 311. Gusts we want to make the same. That should be good for our weather. All right, we're gonna level off here. Samuel's coming up in formation here. We got a nice... Now we've got 2 fishing charters going. Pretty sweet. Coming up on the right rear quarter, we've got a nice formation going with the Beavers. Snapping a picture here for the Discord. Show some formation flying. Very cool, man. That's awesome. Just so you know, I'm going to be making a little bit of a right turn here. There we go, and let's check our fuel tank and our cylinder temperature, which is looking good. Everything's looking good. We can turn the pitot heat off for a minute, see how that things go there. Landing lights going off for now. Flaps are in the right position. Temperatures are looking good, so yeah. Let's come back on this a little bit. Up on this a little bit. There we go. Like the sound of that. and I'm gonna be making a little bit of a turn to the left here. If you see that big mountain ahead, we're gonna want to stay left of that. So it's gonna be a very slight turn to the left. Look at us doing some formation flying in the Yukon. There's a couple of beavers. Is that a lake below us? Oh, wow. Sure looks like one, but it's like unmarked on the map. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, that's a massive lake. Alright, we're going to be doing a landing here, right up here in the Chain Lakes. You can see the map right here. You'll see Chain Lakes. Nice big lake here. We're going to go to this one here, the biggest one. This is where we're going to be landing next. Then we're going to go up to Mandana Lake. Plenty of lakes here for some fishing. Of course, it's good to be in some rivers too, especially like a lake that the Yukon would meet. We can see if there's anything like that. This is another area I was looking at, but again, I think we're just gonna get some super wonky graphics if we do that. So I can see it peeking out right here in the distance. I'm going to turn off autopilot now. All right, and it is my airplane. Getting ready to do another landing. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Hey, how's it going, Dan? It's pretty accurate, man. I must be honest. I mean, I guess you could argue some airplanes are more accurate than others. I think the biggest, like, thing you're gonna miss from simulation is you're not gonna feel the airplane and you're not gonna feel the wind. Those are two of the most important things in flying. So, but from a technical standpoint and the functions of the airplane and learning airspaces and instruments and a lot of flying applies to the simulator. Many instructors say, like, those who simulated with them, they could tell that they did a much better job in real life right off the bat, just from all their simulation experience. And so there's a lot that you can learn and a lot of real life aviation aspects in simulation. That's why I do it, and also being able to travel the world right from home and hang out with you guys. That's why I love it. And being able to go fly for free, you know? Right now I'm flying an airplane that's over $300,000. Can't imagine how much this trip would cost in fuel and all that. So yeah, you can learn a lot on the simulator, and it has become very realistic, as well as with weather. And I like to fly anything from small airplanes to general aviation, tail wheels, historic planes, all the way to the airliners. You know, I just like it all. I love it all. Not really as into the jets or, like, you know, modern day jets. I don't know why. I'm just not as into those. Alright, so we're gonna scout out this lake. Just wanted to make sure we get in here nice and low, and then we're gonna come up and land not this one and not the little next one, but the big one after that. They're really all like right back to back to back. And what's great is we'll, for the most part, be landing into the wind. We'll have a little bit of a left crosswind. Just gonna keep an eye on my airspeed here and messing with the trim right now. There we go. We'll see how the fish are biting in here today. But yeah, I would say, like, Dan, it's as accurate as you want it to be. Some people hop on here and they just mess around. But it is a simulator, and it is supposed to be simulating real life flying. You can make it as real as you want, really. I mean, that's the only thing you're really missing is, like, the feel of the airplane, the feel of the controls, the feel of the wind, and feeling how the airplane reacts to it and things like that, which is a huge part of flying that you're just not going to be able to simulate in this yet. Maybe one day in the future somehow. That's why for the airliners they have those big fancy machines that actually move a little bit. Okay, so there's this other small lake here, and then the big one is right after. That's where we're going to touch down. I'm going to go ahead and start the replay so we can capture this. Perfect. Let's put the landing light on. Not that there's anyone around, it's just us in nature. And let's go down to flaps, to landing. I'm gonna trim down a little bit since we put our flaps up. I'm sorry, flaps down. Alright, and right at the end of this, there is a much bigger opening to land. So we're not going to land where it's all zigzaggy here, but up here, there's a better area. There's also a little island, which is kind of cool. We're going to come right over that little island and touch down. It's getting a little turbulent here, since we're low. Got wind bouncing off the mountains and the trees. Got the visible water river below us, or lake, but then we have a river of wind that's right in our face. You can't even see, with all the wind currents going everywhere off the mountains. It's not too windy right now though, so it's not too bad. I do want to stay to the right here. Gives us more room to the left if we are not feeling good about something. That really mostly only applies if you're doing a pass, like a mountain pass. Alright, let's start to bleed off some airspeed here. We're at full flaps. We got plenty of room to land. Beautiful. Look how much that water slows us down right away. Cool. Splash. All right, let's put down the water rudder so we can get some steering here. Flaps we will put back up. I'm actually going to turn around and go check out that little island. That's way back there. We'll just go to the shoreline. Landing light off. As soon as we get parked, we'll check out the replay. And now we are in a very remote lake here in the Yukon. There is no one around, just us and nature. And some fish that have probably never been caught. Again, I don't really have a realistic way to like anchor or park in the seaplane, the float planes yet. So it is what it is, but we're on the shore now. Okay, they do have an app, you know, they do have an app that can help with that a little bit, but I'm not using it. There's no like way to throw out an anchor or anything like that though. Okay, so let's shut her down. Radio's off. Mixture's out. Mags are going off. Lights are off. Battery's off. Perfect. All right, now we're gonna watch the replay of the landing, and then we will go check out one more fishing spot soon. First, we're gonna hang out here. If anyone wants to do a landing, I can check it out with the drone camera. Samuel, if you want to do a landing, we could all watch. If you want to do a off and landing or something like that. I love people flying along in multiplayer. Super cool. I love that you're here. We have 2 airplanes with each other now. Got like a group fishing experience with 2 beavers in the Yukon. Pretty incredible. So I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, for some reason I lost my recording. Oh well. So we're not gonna be watching that. I might have let it run too long. I'm not sure why that happens. But I did hit record and now it's showing that it's not there. Maybe I let it run a little bit too long. Yeah, we'll get out some gear here. Actually, probably can't even. Yeah, that works. Well, you can open these doors too. Oh, maybe not in the passenger. Oh yeah, it's right here. There we go. Let's get out our table. Few items here. You guys just enjoy the sounds real quick. For a couple of minutes, I'll be right back and we will continue our flight to one more fishing spot here in the Yukon. Here's where we are at in the map right now. We are at Chain Lakes. The Yukon Territory started all the way down in Whitehorse at the seaplane base, and we've made our way up to Chain Lakes, and we've got Mandana Lake we could check out. Looks like there's some cool little islands there. And of course the Yukon up here. We'll probably end our flight in Carmax, and that is where we'll be staying the night tonight in the Yukon, is in Carmax. A couple of airports there. I will be right back. pulled up another one of my streams. I don't know why like Streamlabs is not really working very well, because it says it's going to put the same title and description on Twitch and Facebook at the same time, and it keeps doing an old stream on Twitch and Facebook with the title and the description. They're not right, so I'm trying to have to problem solve that. So many technical things in live streaming. Kind of goes with being a pilot though, I guess. So hopefully I updated that for Facebook. I don't see anywhere to save. That's fine. I guess it just saves automatically. Anyway, I'm still figuring out my Twitch as well, but I am live streaming on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube all at once. So we got 3 streams, 3 different platforms going all at once now. And some of the goals are to get a better computer. I'd like to get some better performance out of the live stream. I've noticed there's a little bit of lag, even though it says excellent condition for my YouTube streaming. It says it's in excellent condition. Apparently all appears to be well, but I'm still getting a little bit of lag, it appears, for the stream. So I'm still problem solving some of that. Anyway, that's just some behind the scenes stuff going on. All this stuff takes a lot of time, so I appreciate your support. Now we're gonna head up this lake. We'll check out if we want to do a quick little like touch and go here in Mandana Lake. We could maybe throw out a line real quick, see if anything bites, and then go up the Yukon and end in Carmax. The Carmax area looks like, where would we land up here? We might have to put down the gear and land at the airport, so that's cool. It's probably a Class E. Can't imagine Carmax is a very busy airport. Probably a Class E airspace. We'll check it out. Carmax Airport. Okay, does it have a tower? Here's some information here. Airport operations. Control tower, no. So we got a Class E airport, runway 9 and runway 27. Cool. I'm gonna just leave. I'm gonna copy that for when we are ready to go there. Alright, guys. Let's get back in the plane. Get to flying again. Thanks for your patience. Just gotta stretch my legs every now and then. Okay. We're gonna clean up our campsite. Let's come over to the airplane. Get the doors open again. Load everybody up. Take everything inside. You know what? I think there's a quick way to do this. So clear all objects. There we go. There we go. Now we just boarded everything quick. Steven, how's it going? Welcome. Glad you're here. Alrighty, and we're gonna turn on the master battery. We'll shut the doors. Perfect. Everybody's in. Caught a couple more fish. Good stuff. Beautiful day. We'll stay on the center tank for now, and let's go fuel selectors to both. Or I'm sorry, magnetos to both. Crack the throttle, mixture full. We're not going to do any primer. We'll do a wobble pump though one time. Good. And we can go ahead and start. We're going to put this here. Click the starter. Help kicking off away from the shore. There we go. Just need a little bit of help. Now you can sort of use the pushback. If you want to use the pushback, just shift P. That'll help get you away from shore a little bit like I just did. And that was actually a pretty realistic departure from the shore there. Looks like Samuel's starting up. We are going to go back to the south part of this lake to give us some room to take off. As I'm turning that way, we're going to go flaps to take off. We're going to get our lights going. And let's turn our radios on. And let's get our water rudder. Oh, we'll keep that down. Okay, good. And we'll go get into position. Yeah, you guys see that like little bit of lag happening? I don't know what the deal with that is. I think it is honestly, I have an amazing internet connection. I don't think it has anything to do with the internet or my Streamlabs settings for streaming. I think it's just my computer. I think I just need to bite the bullet and get a new computer because I'm in this for the long haul with you guys with the live streaming thing. Look at all these people though in the Yukon. Here's another beaver over here. I don't know if these are people trying to meet up with us. That's cool. Interesting to see some other people in such a remote area, although they could be pretty far away. Alright, this should give us plenty of room to take off at this point. Yeah, I've got quite a bit of lag going here. I don't know what's going on with that. Let's get out of here. We don't want to waste too much time, so let's just go to quick takeoff check. Check our cylinders. We're aligned to the runway. Takeoff throttle is going to be takeoff power. We're going to go climb power set. Airspeed 80 miles an hour. I'm just going to try to get off the water as quickly as possible. Flaps to climb. We're going to put this all the way up. For our RPM lever, our flaps are at takeoff. And trim, we're gonna want to put probably about here. I can't even see the trim setting. It's kind of interesting actually to look at that. Elevator trim. So like that must be like center right there. Interesting. I always just kind of do that by feel. All right, let's get going. And a beautiful departure. I'm going to put the flaps to cruise now. Alright, and then adjust my trim. We're going to continue up these lakes. Very, very beautiful section here. And let's turn on the autopilot. We're going to maintain altitude, and let's get our heading lined up. Is our heading to compass? Is our heading to compass? It's pretty close. Should be good. Let's hit heading. Alrighty. Beautiful, my friends. We've got autopilot on. Everything is good now. Let's check our temps and check our fuel tank. Alright, middle tank, we still have about 10 gallons left. I'd like to burn the rest of the rear as well, which we could do like just taxiing. And then still got that front tank. So I'd actually like to switch over to the front. Perfect. Let's lean the mixture a little bit, and that's going to be good right there. Just check our temps. All right, everything's good with our temps. I'm gonna decide against watching that replay right now because I am getting some lag. Samuel is doing an excellent job staying in formation. Very good, my friend. I'm going to be turning a little bit to the right, probably a heading of about 330. We're about to be meeting back up with the Yukon River here shortly. Just north of the Yukon River, we also have Frenchman Lake. Guys haven't done so yet, please join the Discord channel. I'm going to be doing some giveaways on there. I've got some coffee mug giveaways and some patches as well. Just got to get a few more people to join, and then I'll do a giveaway. just up ahead, you will see the Yukon River. We're about to meet back up with it. There it is. Steven wants us to slow up a little bit, so I'm going to do a left 360 to let him catch up. No problem at all. So again, I'm just doing a left 360 here. I'm gonna go manual because it's just been a pain in the ass with the autopilot to do a 360. Some stuff is just not fun with a mouse. It's like way better when you're actually turning a knob by hand. Samuel, take care, my friend. Can't wait to see you on the next one. Hopefully I will get into next week as well. I don't know if Mondays or Tuesdays are better for you guys, but it looks like... Let me see. I'll probably be on... I always put the next stream at the top of my YouTube channel, so that's one thing. That's one place you could look, or Discord. But yeah, it looks like Monday, I'll be doing another one on Monday. So just a few days from now. Safe travels. It was great flying with you. Great flying, my friend. Really cool to be in formation together. Alright, now I'm back on track. Looks like Steven has caught up now. I'm gonna go back on autopilot. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna turn off autopilot. We're gonna follow the Yukon River. Come down nice and low. See how the fish are doing down here. This will be much better, much more fun. Cruise along the river. Might even be calm enough to land over here. There could be some cool spots to land over here. Let's check out this little section here. Really like how this spot is looking. Oh wow, this is just like gorgeous. Yeah, we're gonna have to land down here. This is awesome. Look at this spot. See that little sandbar there? That's our target. That's where we're gonna end up. That was a little rough. That's alright. Just trying to get it down in time because we've got a... Oh, did I leave the rudder handle down? That's okay. I got a taxi back, so I was just trying to get the airplane down. I want to go check out this sandbar. This is a cool spot. We're gonna go taxi back that way. Just a beautiful day here in the Yukon. We're probably gonna pretend like the wind has picked up a little bit, because that's what happens in real life. Probably go to about 9 knots of wind, gusting to... It's probably, I mean, we'll just say it's not very gusty. That works. Did you have a rough landing? That's all good, man. You let me know if you have any questions about anything. But yeah, you really, I mean, just the more you fly something, the more you get used to it. Okay. Yeah, do you guys see this? Oh my gosh. What a spot. This is our fishing spot. Good place to end today's fishing adventure. We'll put our flaps up. Sweet. We're gonna bank it right here. What a spot. Now this is like the spot I was looking for on the Yukon River. This is exactly what I had pictured in my head. Perfect. Can't beat it. Battery's going off. I didn't do any of that in the correct order, so forgive me. Just trying to get out here. Let's open the doors. Probably don't need this one open. Just open the left side. Look at this spot. This is the fishing spot that I had pictured in my head yesterday. Okay. Let's set up a couple things here and camp out. Really cool app. Probably my favorite plugin for general aviation right now on Microsoft Flight Simulator. Let's get out our table. Where's that at? That's like a little too close to the airplane. Let's put that like here. There we go. We're gonna put stuff over here. In between our planes. Yeah, this is awesome. This is a great place to end it. And then we'll do one last quick little leg to an actual hard surface runway and land on the gear. Just to mix it up. Can you do this when... Oh, you can do this in drone view? I didn't know that. That's cool. Yeah, what do you guys think? What if I switched over to like a fishing simulator? I wonder if they're going to incorporate stuff like that in Microsoft Flight Simulator one day. Home Depot bucket? What did they get Home Depot to sponsor this? That's hilarious. Why Home Depot? Can you change the color of that? It's kind of tacky. No? Gotta be able to change the color of that, no? Interesting. Okay. Put the jerry can out. Huh. Made a little sound. Cool. Look at this spot. Beautiful place to camp on the Yukon. So we're just gonna take a minute and just enjoy this for a second, and then we're gonna take right back off and go to our final destination. Just getting like a feel for this though. Just can't imagine doing this in real life. If money was no factor, right? Okay. Set up a nice little scene here. And I will be right back. I mean, I'm still gonna be here. I'm not going AFK. I'm just gonna let you guys enjoy this scene for a second. Hope you guys enjoyed that peace and quiet on the Yukon River. Let's come back down to our airplane. Great day of fishing. We're gonna clean up camp. So all we gotta do is go to this and hit the delete. This will clear all the objects. Perfect, we got those back in the airplane. Let's shut the doors. You can actually do that on the iPad. There we go. Wow, much quieter with the doors shut. All right, and time to start the airplane back up and go to our last destination. This is going to be a Class E airport. If I pull up the map, you guys can see this is where we're at right now. Really cool spot on the Yukon. We're going to come up the Yukon a little bit and land at Carmax. We'll run a left pattern. We could make a straight in 427, but instead I'm going to fly over the airport, circle back, run a left downwind for 27, left base, and then turn to final just to scout out the runway. Because it's a Class E, just want to make sure there's nothing obstructed. I know there's probably not a lot of traffic there right now, so we'll just announce, you know, that we're going to fly over and check it out before we land. We'll land with the gear down. Even though we're in a float plane, we do have some wheels, and that is where we're going to land and keep our airplane for the night. This is also another interesting airport here, but I don't know what that is. It's questionable. It could be more of a bush strip, which we wouldn't want to do with this float, with the floats. So let's stick to Carmax Airport and get fired up here. So again, thank you guys so much for voting as well. I love you guys participating in the vote. Next week we're going to do the runner-up for this current vote, which will be bush flying in Idaho, which is going to be insane because we're going to try to land, and especially if you want to join on multiplayer, we're going to be attempting to land at some pretty tricky backcountry strips in Idaho. Idaho sounds like, to some people, it's in the middle of nowhere and there's nothing there, but that's actually not true. It's an incredible state, gorgeous state with a ton of mountains and rivers. I mean, that's where the Sawtooths are. And amazing place to fly, so I really look forward to that. All right, let's get started up. Master on. Fuel we're going to leave on the front, mags to both. Throttle's going to be cracked, mixture full. Propeller RPMs we're going to put on this decrease. I believe that's where it's supposed to go. And I'm just getting some spam here. Let me report this. And we're going to report that. Perfect. We're going to report this one. All right. It's ridiculous, the world we live in. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and start up. And we've got power. Water rudder's down. I'm going to start a little pushback to get away from the shore. Good. That should do it. We'll start turning to the right, and we are pretty much going to just turn this way. We should have, well, let me get turned around here. I don't know why it's struggling to turn around so much. There we go. About to hit ground again. And then I am going to research the hell out of how to make Streamlabs more of a priority on my computer to see if I can fix this lagging, because it's driving me insane. Completely agree, Steven. We're going to expose some of the coolest backcountry flying strips that you can take off and land at in Idaho, and they are wild. And for those who want to fly along, you are going to want to download the runways that I'm going to be using, because they're add-ons, they're free, So make sure you join the Discord because I'm going to put them in there before the stream, and you can easily add them to your community folder, and that way you'll see what I'm seeing and you can go land there and it'll be a lot more fun for you. Okay. So let's see how much room we have here. I mean, realistically we'd want to go down this way a little bit, but I think we've got enough room to take off here. Yeah, we should have plenty. Might even be this might not be into the wind, but just for time's sake, I'm gonna go ahead and take off. We're gonna do flaps to take off, turn on our radio, put our lights on. And we're good. Let's put our water rudder up. And we're gonna go full power. Well, guess we need that rudder. Airplane is wanting to turn back probably into the wind, I'm guessing. I don't know why I did that hard turn to the right, but okay. I mean, we could try it. We could take off this way. That's fine. Don't have as much room this way. I'd like to probably at least turn more to the right. And we'll go right past the island and take off in this gap right here. Alright, let's try that. Here we go. I'm gonna leave our landing light on because we're gonna be landing pretty shortly. In fact, at this point, we could pretty much announce, you know, that we're just a few miles and we're gonna do a fly over the runway because it's right there. So we would pretty much say, you know, Carmack Airport traffic, and then announce our call sign. This is November 900 Kilo Alpha. We're going to be flying over the field at 1,500, and then we'll be making a left downwind for runway 2. What do we say? 27. Yep. So this would be our common traffic frequency announcement for about 3 miles out. We'd like to do that sooner. Normally we would do that sooner, but that's what we're doing now because we just took off. All right, and we want to stay lower too. We want to come back down to about 1,500. So I'm climbing way too high here. This airplane has a lot of punch. Love it. And for our last landing, we're going to be lowering the gear. Oh no, your game froze. Oh man. Don't worry about getting in my way. I'm just glad you're here. But I'm sorry to hear your game froze. I have been there. I have definitely been there. Very frustrating. But I'm glad you could make it to that spot with me. Just so you guys can see how close we are very close. If you look at the map here, we're already right here. This is the airport here. So we'll be there in just a minute. So again, I'll leave the landing light on. We're gonna come down to 1,500. I don't know what our altimeter would be at Carmack's airport right now. So probably we'll climb a little bit. Might even have to eyeball this 1,500 a little bit. laps to climb. Yeah, because I don't think our altimeter is set right. I think we're probably at about 500 feet right now. So I think it's somewhere in here. Is a lot more accurate. There's our runway. Again, we're gonna fly over the field, or probably a little higher than that actually. We'll say 700. That's perfect. So we want to climb up to 1,500, fly over the field, scout it out, make sure we like it. Then we're getting ready to land. What is going on with our fuel tanks? Plenty of fuel. We're gonna make sure we're on the front, which we are. Had a great morning of fishing on the Yukon. Life is good. CarMax traffic. This is November 900 Kilo Alpha. And de Havilland Beaver. Crossing the field at 1,500. From the southeast. We'll be circling back to make a left downwind for 27. All right, how's our runway look? Looks pretty clear. No animals on it. No elk, no deer. Nothing like that. So we're looking good, looking good. All right. Let's circle back for the left downwind for 27. Go through our landing checklist. Trim as required. Throttle adjust. Controlled column gently pull back. Interesting. It's an interesting one. Rudder pillars used to maintain straight. Obviously, brakes as needed. That's kind of a dumb checklist. Okay. That's why you got to go to like the official checklist. You don't really know what they're gonna give you from Microsoft. Okay, we're getting a little low here. But that said, we are on a left downwind. If we lean over, we can see there's the runway. We're looking good. CarMax traffic to Havilland Beaver. 0 Kilo Alpha. It's turning a left base for 27. Full stop. CarMax traffic. Gear going down. Our wheels are down. We're now going to be turning base. I'm going to start recording for the landing here in a second. And let's put some flaps down for landing. Getting a little slow. There we go. And then we'd say CarMax traffic. This is de Havilland Beaver, 0 Kilo Alpha. We are on a final for 27 full stop. Alright, I'm going to start recording our replay. Good. Landing checklist, flaps, fine. We're going to put them on landing. We're crabbing into the wind now. We got a right crosswind. Gear is down. Just got to keep an eye on our airspeed and not get too slow. And here we go, guys. Got plenty of runway. I believe we have about 3,500 feet. And we left the landing light on. Everything else is good. Probably should have put the carb heat on, but that's fine. Yep, got a right crosswind. Do ailerons into the wind and a little bit of left rudder here. Start working it down. We got plenty of room. Give it a little power. Beautiful. Nice and slow. Alright, and let's taxi. Do we have the parking brake on? Oh, that was dumb. That was something we needed to check. That's not good. Just for fun, let's do one more. Flaps to take off. CarMax Airport, this is de Havilland 0 Kilo Alpha. We're upwind 27, turning left crosswind for 27. It's going to be a full stop in the pattern. Oh yeah, we really need to lean that mixture. Flaps to climb. CarMax Airport, this is de Havilland Beaver, 0 Kilo Alpha. We're on a left downwind for 27, full stop. We're gonna try that again because I had the parking brake on like an idiot. In real life, you would have the checklist out, and that obviously wouldn't happen because you got to go through your checklist. But the checklists on here, I'm not very happy with. I found a website that has the proper checklists. I had that up earlier when we were looking at the emergency procedures. Where is it? Right here, Beaver checklist. Yeah, this is cool. This is what you want to use. Find something like this. The official checklist. Let me pause it for a second. Here's the official checklist. Well, maybe that's not official. Maybe that's another simulation site checklist. So, I don't know. It's good to find like the official one from the real world checklist that you would use. Obviously, like you want to make sure your parking brake's not on when you land. All right. We're about to turn our base. Let's pull out some power here and put our first notch of flaps down, which they already are. But we'll put the second. Then we're going to go the third. We'll probably land with the configuration of 3. Let's see where we're at with our airport now. Yeah, we can definitely turn base now. Base is going to be into the wind. And I'm going to start the replay feature so we can watch the replay. Alright, parking brake is off. Landing lights on. Flaps set to landing. We're going to come down to another notch right now. Power's looking good. We just got to make sure we don't get too slow. I learned that I needed to lean the mixture more because we're at a higher elevation now. So I was wondering why I wasn't getting in enough power. And that is why. Alright, and now we're on final. You can see we're crabbing into the wind. We're going to go flaps one more notch to that landing configuration for the flaps. Carmax Airport to Haviland. Beaver 0 Kilo Alpha is on a final for 27 full stop Carmax traffic. Oh, and carb heat should be on. Forgot that again. But at this point, we're going to make the runway, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to work it down and then just start to level off here. I'm going to leave in the power. Just maybe bleed it off the power a little bit. Just kind of level it out. Let it lose the airspeed. A little bit of left rudder here. Perfect. And wheels are down. Beautiful. Okay. Let's get off the runway and then we can watch the replay. Flaps are going up. let's get over to parking. Still want to know what that rattling is. I don't understand what the rattling noise is. I think it mentioned something about that though, actually, in the checklist. Let me look that up. Get to our parking spot here. Okay, and we're gonna put the parking brake on. Wasn't the best parking job, but it's fine. Okay, let's see. Under the checklist, does it talk about the rattling noise? I think I saw that on that other checklist that I just had up. Rattle. It's the oil filler cap. It's on the floor near the co-pilot's leg. Oh, that's what that is. Oh, okay. Thank you, Steven. Alright. So that should be tightened. Got it. Well, that solves that. I'm gonna write that down. I want to not forget that one. Okay, I'm glad that you knew that. So we're gonna power down here, but first, let's check out the replay. Beautiful. I am very happy with that landing. Let's get one more look at it. Nice. Very, very cool. I'm stoked on that. Look at this. So the lock mode is kind of interesting. I'm gonna check that out one more time. Let's try the lock mode. See what happens. Lock mode for the drone camera. what is it locking onto? Not sure I fully understand how that mode works, but here's one more view from this side angle that I love. Perfect. Okay, and when I exited replay, for some reason it took us back to here, so I don't know why, but we were at parking, so I'm going to go into slew mode, go over to parking real quick, because that's where we were. Replay mode can kind of mess those things up, so there we go. That's perfect. I think it looks like it just powered us down. That's okay, that's what we're going to do anyway. Should turn these off and get our lights off. Get the doors open, and what a great day of fishing. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Open up all the doors and the... I love how there's doors in the back. It's really cool. I don't know... Yeah, I guess you would use those. Yeah. Even when there's passengers. I was gonna say, they're kind of like cargo doors. What else we got here? Parking brakes on. Mags are gonna go off. Come on. Come on. Are you gonna stop working now? Okay, well, at least you're gonna stop working when we're done with the stream, because these will not go off. That's fine. Can't get them to turn off. That's okay. Okay, we're gonna get out of the plane now. And what time is it here? It is now 7:26 a.m. That's it? Wow. Still only 7:30 in the morning. It's amazing how early the sun rises. And even more amazing how much you can do in a de Havilland Beaver in just a day and how much ground you can cover. Wish I could stream longer for you guys today, but trying to keep them to around 3 hours or so now, so we're just over that. And I'm going to work on this lag issue that's bothering me with my stream settings, and I might even work on some audio stuff as well. I just want to give you guys the best and cleanest streaming experience I can, so I will continue to work on that. Also have some fun emojis here that people will get some access to if you become a member, which I have not unlocked yet. So after a handful more of live streams, I will unlock that feature. Because again, I think this is where the future of my YouTube channel is going. It's just so much fun hanging out with you guys. Thanks for being here. Hope you have a wonderful day and you really enjoyed that stream in the Yukon. Again, coming up next, we're going to be on Monday. And again, if you ever want to know when my next live stream is going to be, just look at the top of my YouTube channel, that banner there. Right now it says on air on the home page of my YouTube channel, or Discord. Those two things will tell you when the next stream is going to be. Might change a little bit every week, but as of now, the next one's going to be at noon on Monday, and we're going to be flying in Idaho, doing some really cool backcountry strips, some very challenging strips to take off and land with some STOL planes, so that'll be cool. And if you guys didn't know, Idaho's breathtaking. If you're doubting that, just tune in on Monday, and you will see. After that, we're going to hop into an Airbus on the stream after that, and we're going to fly from Charlotte Douglas into LaGuardia, so that'll be interesting. Thank you guys so much. This is Brady, and I am out for now. Hope you have a wonderful day. Be safe.